Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Rift, where we tell you things about League of Legends and all sorts of fun. Today is November 1st, 2011, and our special guest today is PhantomL0rd, number 2 currently on the North American ladder, and he is currently joining in a tournament. Do you happen to know what tournament it is?
I can check here in a moment.
Alright, well you do that and then let us know. We also have Forecourt Jester, and our special guest today, who is wearing very special things on his shirt, let me uncheck him, is... Hey, it didn't work. Oh.
Fail.
Shit, what did I broke it! Oh, I hit the wrong thing. That's why it scrolled up. There it is. Jet. There you go. There we go, it's Jet! Canadian? American? We're not quite sure.
Hey, what's up, Jet?
It was so much better in my head, and then I clicked all the wrong things.
It's like a fat version of Jet right there.
It's Fat Jet.
It's Fat Jet.
So we got a good
obviously we're going to be discussing some of the WCG drama.
Oh yes,
which there's so much drama and so many things. We're going to have to start and make the dumb version for everybody, because it's gotten so confusing. Actually, I was trying to read some of the posts, and I read Matt Marcoux's post, and it's all so circular. You think you're watching a political discussion, which is very frustrating.
Really kind of are.
I think we are really watching a political discussion. Yeah, so, it's pretty sad. So, Jet, what do you have to say? Have you picked the side that you want to play on?
He's like, I want to be on the winning side.
Come on, you're failing at responding, Jet.
Jet, Vaniel.
What? Because it's kind of small, but it says losing tournament, play for another team. That's
we can't read that; it's too small. Come on, bro.
That's why I read it to you.
Okay, there.
Why
Thank
I read
you.
it to you.
I feel a little dizzy from laughing so hard.
And you know what? When I go to Korea, if Dignitas loses, I'll just switch over to a Chinese team. It works.
Yeah, I think he'd pass really well.
Please don't say things like that when I'm choking on water.
When you're choking?
Yes, to make me choke on water.
Oh man.
So,
I had to do it, guys. I really had to.
So, on to the first few things on our list. So, I guess I'll put your name back to Vaniel. I'm still obviously going through puberty.
Yeah.
Or I've just been up since 7:30 this morning and at work all day. Anyway, so we have patch info news. Vaniel, would you like to take over the patch info? Vaniel.
Yeah, I'm actually going to ask PhantomL0rd what he thinks about a couple of the changes, because it seems like there's a lot of, and you can just read the patch notes, but there's been a lot of QQ over the Shaco changes, and I know he's not really used in high ELO at all, but a lot of people are saying it's just it's a across the board nerf to AP Shaco, and it is a nerf, I think, but I don't think it's as drastic in Summoner's Rift as people think it is. I think it's more geared towards Dominion. They lowered the AP ratio and the base damage a bit, but they also, in my opinion, buffed it a little bit too by reducing the activation range. Previously what was happening was you'd get a champion that would come in to the range of the Jack-in-the-Box, they'd get feared, and sometimes they would get feared out of the range of the Jack-in-the-Box, and so they'd become unfeared and just walk away without taking much damage. And lowering that activation range made it so that they're going to be in the range of that fear for almost the whole duration, hopefully, as well as the laser spit is what I call it. So, I don't really think it's that big of a nerf, but they added in the ability of the clone to be able to proc the two-shift poison passive, so that's a plus. I don't think he's going to be very he's not going to be played in the high ELO at all, but I just played him as AD. He's okay.
I don't know about that.
What
he's like, I have plans.
You want to say something? Are you planning on playing a high ELO Shaco?
Champions can be nerfed to the ground, but people will still love them and still play them. Lepak is a perfect example. He loves Shaco, so he'll still play Shaco. But yeah, I don't know if you finished with your talk. I don't want to interrupt. Sorry.
Oh no, feel free.
No, interrupt.
Jump in.
I think that the changes on Shaco were really needed. nerf slash buff, I think the one buff that they were planning on implementing was the timer on the Jack in the Box activating. So from when you put it down and instantly activating, that was going to be huge. Everyone got scared about that. I know I certainly did, but they ended up not putting that in there. So all these other changes were kind of just left as a nerf. But I think it was really needed because he would just sit in the bush and just put 3-4 boxes, and then all of a sudden you walk in, you're dead. There's absolutely nothing you can do. It's just that stupid. But I think these are tweaks that'll make him a lot better.
Do you think they tweaked it enough, though? I mean, the level 1 damage is still there. They reduced the AP ratio, but really, I mean, his early game, the Jack in the Box, is still pretty powerful, and that's really where he excelled. I mean, late game, Jack in the Box is, you know, you'd stick 5 in a bush and someone could still walk out, but, you know, when you get as a counter jungler in that, do you think he's still going to be pretty effective, or with
his
the Jack in
early
the Boxes,
game
or do you
is his advantage because he's a squishy jungler, and because, you know, if he gets caught without his Q, it's kind of a good game. So that's to his benefit. That's kind of what Shaco's known for, that early rush red, level 2 gank, mid, bottom, top. The countless amount of games I've seen it where I just have to lose CS because I can't go out in the lane, knowing there's a Shaco out there. It's very strong, but after that, he just becomes, you know, worse and worse and worse as the game goes on. He goes to late game, he doesn't perform as well as he does early game. So that's I think that's just based towards the champion. I think the changes were sufficient enough, but honestly, every little tweak changes everything. The picks, the bans, with every single patch. So we'll see how it will be as far as the turnout for him. But I think he's fine right now.
Do you feel there's any champions that got changes that will affect how they fall, and say, like, in high ELO play? I mean, I know Graves got a little bit of a nerf, Caitlyn got a little bit of a nerf, Olaf arguably got some sort of a nerf slash buff, depending on how you look at it. Do you think that might affect any of those champions? It might affect whether they're played often or not?
Of course. The thing to note about these patches is that no matter how minute the changes are, it sends an entire rift to the rest of the community and to the meta. As an example, someone who really likes the champion. Here we go. The perfect patch. Amumu, attack range increased to 125 from 100. Much needed. That little tweak was needed for a very long time. I don't know how many times I've chased as Amumu, trying to headbutt to get the kill, and just out of range. So someone would be playing Amumu a lot more, let's say at high elo, and it kind of trickles down through the streams and people watching and saying, oh, you know, this champion does well, they're doing well with this champion, let me play that champion more. So what will happen is you'll see this champion will get picked more, which will create then different picks and bans, and that will be, then it's like the telephone game, down to the mid elo and then down to the lower elo, so it just changes everything. It's interesting to watch. It's sort of the reason why I love this game so much. But every patch is just new stuff. I mean, the new champion was just ridiculous. Most people won't ever see this or know, but there was a hotfix that was thrown in to nerf some of the stuff on her.
Yeah.
As far as what specifically, I don't really know, but I tried her out, and I was the first person, I think, in the European and North American streams to showcase playing her, and it was just not fair. It's just broken champ.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of which, you're going to talk about, would you pronounce it Shyvana? Shyvana?
Shyvana.
Shyvana, that's what I thought.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm actually having to say the name. Shyvana, yeah.
Yeah. They're getting stranger and stranger sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I want a champion named Bob. That's what I want, just Bob. Just Bob.
Damn, that Bob's OP.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as he comes with a red swing line stabler move, that's all good.
Perfect. So,
all right. So,
what did you think of her in general? Since you said she was obviously overpowered right off the bat.
Well, to kind of flow into the whole champion, I'm a bit of a, I go to school for game arts and design, so I know about all the different aspects like modeling, animation, character rigging, texturing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And this champion is flawless in that category.
Nice.
Her animation from just walking is just it's really enjoyable to watch. Just hold camera lock and just watch her move. It's really enjoyable to look at. Her ultimate, I mean, you don't even have to use it for a purpose. It's just badass. The champion is just badass. Anyone that hasn't played her, I definitely recommend. But I don't know her placement exactly. She's one of those champions like Riven that'll take some time for people to kind of figure out and place her. Karthus Van against me in this matchup. Well, but the current, I guess, build for her is Wriggles, Atma's, Warmog, with like swapping in Frozen Mallet. Against those, Blade can be used as well. So I think this is an excellent champion. I think it's one of Riot's best released champions. I think the hotfix. I knew the hotfix was coming. It was kind of fun to play her OP status, but I didn't do any ranks, unfortunately. Just did normal.
You might have gotten back to the #1 spot if you did.
I don't know. Learning a champion for the first time, against someone who's really good would not be the best decision. Last pick here, awesome. But she's a fantastic champion. I think anyone that has not played her should definitely play her. She is a bruiser, sort of tanky bruiser, top lane, and jungler, for sure. She does not belong in the mid lane, AP carry, or bottom lane at all. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the new champion.
Very cool. Sweet. So I mean, we're seeing her ultimate right here, and she can do spells from her ultimate. Like she stays in dragon form and just pretty much does everything normal except better damage kind of thing. Exactly.
But there are additional effects for each of her abilities. Like her Q does, it does a cleave to all the units in front, which is just, I don't know how many fights. I have actually videos up where I've just dove into the entire team, just not even caring, with my ultimate, having the trail, throwing down the E, which is actually a armor reduction. Mm-hmm. It goes to the whole team. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then cleaving them all after that, and just seeing that combo of damage, ridiculous.
Have you tried stacking Tiamats to see if that cleave...
No, I haven't done that yet. I played her like 5 times or something, and each time it was a different build. But,
I think after the show I'm going to try and stack 5 Tiamats on her just to see what happens when I go into Dragon Form and use Q.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, as you can see our...
Yeah, we pretty much have that. Let's go here and do that.
And back we are.
Yes, we are. Next on our list of pretty much things is we have further changes. Some basically future changes are going to be remaking Xerath, from what I've gathered. Well,
yes, sir.
This is a little Doomsday is the problem. While this is a little Doomsday in the problems you speak about, I think there's few takeaways we're looking to change. Jesus Christ, I can't read.
No, you can't.
No.
You got to work on that whole word.
Well, then you
thing.
read.
No, I'm good.
Fine. God damn it. They're gonna.
Do you want me to read it?
Sure, go ahead. You're on the patches.
Yeah, it's really far away from me.
I mean, just to summarize, I'm not going to read every sentence here, but it does say that the devs have acknowledged that Xerath really doesn't need his passive. I mean,
yeah,
getting armor for stacking AP and everything, he's a ranged champion. He's trying to stay out of range, and his siege mode is what they're calling it now. The whole point of Xerath is to stay away from champions, not to get into the middle of everything. So it was kind of that they want to change that passive a little bit to more emphasize ranged play, but they don't know what they're going to do yet. It should be in the next couple patches. They're also talking about changing the root and the range increase to be something that you just hit and then your next spell becomes long range instead of being rooted to the ground. I don't know if I necessarily like that, because usually when you're rooted you can cast more than one spell at a time. But if they remove it and just make it one spell, you can't really like stun and then use your lightning Q or whatever spell in conjunction with it very well. So they're looking for feedback. There's a post out there, but Yeah, I love playing Xerath. He's a great champion, but I
It's a lot
think
of fun,
that they
too.
are right. Yeah, he's really fun. He really doesn't need that passive. A different passive would be better for him. So
Yeah, and
that's where he's at.
I heard some other people were saying he's a really easy champion to just pick up and play really well. So, and that's always a nice change.
I think the thing about the champion that's the biggest problem is he has so much utility, like the speed out of the snare, and then the worst thing about him is that landing that skill shot stun, it's just easy to do because it's just like placing your cursor and clicking. There's nothing else you have to do that requires skill. So he's a little bit, I don't know, not optimal at the moment. He needs to be fine-tuned.
Yeah. How about you, Chester?
Well, and like you said, I don't.
Oh, sorry.
Like you said, I think part of it too is, his stun. It's a targeted spell, but then his Q is it is a skill shot, but it doesn't just hit the first thing that it comes in contact with. It hits everything. So you're right. It is really easy to
Land.
to hit it like every time.
Yeah, his combo is just applying the stun, ulting once, getting snared, Q, ulting, Q, dead. If you look at Elements' tier list, there's like champions in the game, and it's not 100% accurate, but basically it describes that there are champions in the game on different tiers. The champions on the highest tiers do all the things that the lower champions do, but better. Lower champions meaning on the lower tiers. So you have Xerath, which does all that like this. It's just kind of ridiculous. But I haven't. He's like the Orianna for me. I don't really want to learn him because he'll get fine-tuned, and then he might not be
Same.
playable anymore.
Yeah.
Just kind of like Orianna is.
Yeah, anytime they change it, as you said earlier, it changes it completely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So I'm jumping into the game here as Kennen versus a Pantheon top lane. Sorry for doing this during the interview, guys. He kind of begged me.
I was gonna say, now we were just gonna ask you some questions. Are you
Sure,
able
go ahead.
to do that? So tell us a little bit about yourself in general. You know, kind of introduce anybody who might not already know you.
I'd love to look at the camera, but I gotta look at the
that's
game.
fine.
This
That's
is the
fine.
monitor. So just for the viewers, of course, my name is James Varga. My alias is PhantomL0rd. It's based off a Metallica song. Of course, the
Awesome
song called
song.
PhantomL0rd, which has been my all-time favorite song from the band. I grew up with them, so it
Yay,
only
another
made
Metallica
sense
fan.
to choose them as the source for my gaming alias. Looks like they're invading us.
Yeah.
But I've been playing games for a long time. Since the very beginning, I decided that I wanted to play video games because of Counter-Strike and Half-Life when I was introduced at a very early age.
Make sure it's actually.
And now, of course, I go to college for game arts and design, degree in that, and
Can I hear that?
just basically dedicating my whole life to that career set. But I've always been an FPS player. I've never really been a MOBA, RTS, RPG style. So when I first started playing League of Legends, I did not like the game. My brother actually told me, hey, let's try this game out, and I said, no, I don't like this game. But then it brought my brother and I together, and a few of the friends to have like parties and drinking events where we could like, oh, if you die, you drink.
Yeah.
And it was just really enjoyable. So I continued to play and got to the point where I played with Hotshot GG and just was so nervous, and it was exciting. I wanted to play more, so I kept playing, eventually got better and developed a strategy that everyone's kind of known me for, and that's my Karthus. I did not originate the Karthus teleport vibe, I just perfected it. I believe I'm the first person to take it to a tournament level when everyone thought it was a joke. But
And I love
yeah,
you for that.
I wanted to do it at IPL, and ESL, IEM, but I never got a chance to. It was a bit disappointing. But yeah, so I've only been a pro recently. I haven't been, I'd say about 2 to 3 months. And I'm just enjoying it so far. I've said several times, anyone can do this. It's not that hard. You just have to have the simple requirement of having time.
Yeah. So we have a couple questions. How do you feel about reducing stacking teams either magical resistance or armor, and why don't we see them in competitive play? Yeah, okay.
Can you give me like a more direct, like Galio, Soraka? I know they kind of have a lot of stats as far as MR stacking. Is that what you kind of mean?
Or to make the question logical, why don't we see teams that are focused on reducing enemies' defenses? Excuse me. Especially since there's a viable AD that reduces magic resist and viable AP that reduces armor, notably Kog'Maw and Karthus.
If everyone noticed, Kog'Maw was picked as the flavor of the month in the last couple of tournaments, because for that reason. A very strong champion, hands down, was the strongest pick in, I believe, all of New York. IEM. I was banned every single time against my team, and almost picked, I believe, every game. There was a chart someone did on Reddit that was showed how many times he was picked. There used to be, back in the old meta, the AoE team comps, and those comps were basically kind of the counter to that, where they would just all just blow up everyone. Then it was more of the single target burst champions, Gragas and Brand, that kind of were released that changed the whole game. So I think right now there's only a few of those champions, like Kog'Maw, and they're not really picked all that often anymore because we've learned to counter them. And bottom lane especially is where all that takes place. Say, for example, you have a Kog'Maw Soraka, you can have then a Leona Ezreal lane, and the Leona Ezreal would then do really well against the guy's laughing at.
No,
Sorry, something completely going on in chat. We're trolling
completely
each other.
unrelated to what you're talking about, but people are actually interested in it, so please continue.
Gotcha. I'm trying to play, listen, and
yeah, and we're giggling here. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, that's right. But yeah, they're just, it's like my Karthus, for example. I've been playing it for so long where I would die, and then everyone would just kind of sit in the lane. And I'd be like, okay, here I come, teleport revive, you know, you're dead. Now, everyone backs up to their tower and loses CS. So, basically, there's a learning curve that happens, and people learn how to deal with it, and that's why it doesn't become as viable anymore. And that's what's going to be happening with every single patch and every single tournament. Not just the pro players, but the community as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, people learn.
Yep. It's terrible that people learn.
Yeah. Like, you were saying you play first-person shooters. Have you played Battlefield 3 yet?
No, I haven't.
I was going to say, as a pro player, do you pretty much exclusively play League of Legends only all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
For now, it's sort of like my full-time job.
Yeah.
It was sort of depressing when someone mentioned it at IPL. It's like, you know, this is your full-time job. And I'm just like, fuck. And it's the saying, like, when you do what you love for a job and then you don't love it anymore. It's the same ordeal.
Yeah. So Veska asked, besides Karthus and Brand, the two AP champions you're known for the most, what other AP champions do you like?
Do I like?
What other AP
or
presumably
like or play? I guess
Yeah.
I can answer that the same.
Yeah.
Akali was my original main AP. I've liked her for a very long time. I'm going to try and kill Brand here in the mid.
Yeah.
But I play Kennen. I'm actually playing him right now. He was one of the hardest champions for me to learn / master.
Learn/master.
I do play Gragas. I do play Cassiopeia. I actually played Anivia for a long time as well, but she's not that great anymore as far as high elo. She is in some situations, but it's very rare where she could be proven to be useful. It heavily depends on the team comp and who she's laning against early game. But I also play LeBlanc. Unfortunately, she's bad endgame. And I usually strive for an endgame style champion. But I like to play recently AP Tristana, a lot of those kind of troll builds, because believe it or not, they do work. And the reason they work is because people don't know how to deal with them. I've also been playing a lot of AP Scion. AP Scion is ridiculously strong right now. If you have not played him, I suggest you do.
It's always been strong.
It's again that whole patch changing thing where people just kind of realize, oh shit, he's strong, and then you just play him. Sort of like my Karthus. My Karthus has been the same way for 2 full patches for several months. Out of nowhere, first on Elements' tier list. Why?
Yeah.
Just people kind of learn how to play a certain style after a long time, and everyone catches on and just like, wow, I don't know how to deal with this, and then they eventually learn, and then it fades away.
Speaking of that, we had some
Yep.
people like talking about the IEM drama that people were saying that you were accused to be a one-trick pony.
Mm-hmm.
Basically only playing the 2 champions. Is there anything you have to say about that, I guess?
Yes, I do. They never once mentioned that I was first place 3 times before I left to, let's see, we're actually losing 1-4 here. I'm not even paying attention. This is a tournament game, guys. Come on. No, I'm doing fine top lane, actually winning in CS. But they never once mentioned, hey, he's actually first place. What does that entice? What does that mean? First place, I don't know if people know how long my queue times are, but they were on average 45 minutes to an hour to wait. And someone's going to be like, oh, Phantom, why don't you play other champions? Well, there's a reason why I don't play other champions. Is because when I get into a game, it's like, okay, I've waited this long. I'm just going to try out, you know, like, who can I, Eve or something that I've never really played. It's a retarded decision because you're kind of playing to have fun, but you're kind of playing to win at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
45 minutes? Yikes.
yeah,
How do you,
so I was first for a long time. What's up?
I was gonna say, how do you deal with is that play any more custom games kind of thing to try and get in quick games to learn stuff, or is it difficult to find competition to actually get better since you're the best, you know?
Competition, yes. I do not want to practice with, hold on, I got to alt here, alting Pantheon.
I mean, you don't want to play with a bunch of low-ranked people or people that, you know, won't improve your game, because then it's just a waste of time.
It's actually worse to do that. If you play against people that aren't at the same level, same page, you'll learn to deal with that, and that's worse.
Bad habits.
So, what also wasn't even considered is that Dominion was released. What was I doing? Playing a lot of Dominion. Of course I was going to play a lot of Dominion, because, you know, I've only been waiting for it since everyone got it all hyped up and stuff. But that's the main thing. The queue times were unbearable. I was playing other champions. They never once recognized that I learned Galio and Annie in that 3-week time span, which I actually did play both at IPL. And I didn't fail at horribly. The team failed in general. So, could I have done a lot better? Of course I could. Will I do a lot better next time? Of course. And the reason why I think I did my best is because, hey, I've only been a pro for such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
The team was formed when the qualifiers were first happened. So, like, the second day of the qualifiers, because we played 2 matches, and then the servers crashed or something, and we had to play it the next day. They're like, okay, you're playing here. Then we got Trieste come on, and then we played all their matches with a team that had never really played together. I mean, going solo queue to that, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I think I did a good job. To have Karthus banned every single time is sort of flattering, because I don't see anyone else that has that kind of scare with the champion.
In Italy.
Yeah.
That's why Hotshot actually defended me on the interview of State of the League with Elements. For that very reason. He has been someone who's been accused of that very same thing. I'd rather perfect a few champions than be average with a lot.
Very true.
How I think, because this game is really specialized with roles and stuff.
Yes, it is.
I just want to tell you, I think it's awesome that you took a champion like Karthus that people really underestimated, and you just like freaking own with him. And I've been playing Karthus since beta, and I love the champion, but I was just waiting for like a pro to pick him up and just show everyone what he could do, and you did that. So it's pretty awesome. Just want to say thank you for that. He's not just an R.
So
He's not at all, and that's what annoys me a lot is when people kind of just say,
R to
"Oh,
win.
that's all you do."
R to
It's
win.
not that simple.
No, that's totally the way it is. That's totally the way it is. So now that I'm drumming up drama, there's been a lot of the WCG World Cyber Games drama, and the IEM drama was previous. Dude, you kind of went into a little bit of that. Since you were the man that was there, do you want us to kind of give us the whole view of what happened? Like, and I guess maybe a short summary of what this IEM
what
drama.
specifically? What drama?
The IEM.
With my team?
Yeah, like I guess you can even segue it in your nice, awesome announcement too.
Yeah.
This is like, I guess, with the whole assumption that no one's seen any of the State League videos or
Yeah,
read.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna go into
posts.
that assumption. Yes.
yeah.
Okay, let me kind of muster the strength here while I'm being. All this stuff. I've got a lot of damage on the tower. Let's see, 84 to 96. He's beating me. God damn it! I gotta stay in the lane. Sorry, guys. So what happened was, here's this team who kind of came together really quickly, who were a bunch of young people. I believe I was the oldest one in the group that had the drama occur between the members. Unstoppable was the one who was the oldest. He was 24, but I believe Tree was 22 or 21 at the time. Either way, it was really fast. All this that was formed. We kind of went into the tournament, all of us, including me, thinking, like, oh, we got this, because we had beaten EG before, and they were the first time we were going to play them at IPL. We actually eliminated them from going to New York.
Nice.
So we had gone into knowing that we can beat the team, no problem, because we had beat them before. And we dive into our first game. Afro and I actually missed our flight, so we had 5 hours sleep. And we had only 20 minutes to set up. So this is the first time I've ever been in a tournament scene. I'm kind of walking up to the seating arrangements and just kind of checking out everything. You see all the pros, hot shots like over there, the Dyrus, Reginald, all the people who I were just fans of only like a month, 2 months ago. And it was really nervous. I was really nervous to be in that situation. So, and despite what everyone else says, I don't think Tree was nervous because, of course, he's been to certain tournaments before and has narrated at others.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the other members on the team were nervous, and I don't know why they didn't admit it, but we all played poorly. And I think it was because, for one, I was not used to the setup. I was dealing with 80 frames per second when I normally deal with 17 to 20 at home.
That's
and then
different.
I usually play at a... Oh, yeah, big time. When you only play that, I only play with that, so I'm not used to anything else.
Why do you play at such a setting that would cause that?
I just have a really good connection and a really good computer, so I didn't think of it at all. I was like more thinking, oh yeah, I did really great with my team. We got to qualify and go to a tournament. That's what I was thinking. So just gotta kill Pantheon here real quick.
Quick AFK as I kill a hero.
Kill a hero, continue on.
So there we go. He's dead.
Methodical and cold blue.
I wish I could do that. Just hold on for a second.
Sorry, I'm just in like farm mode top lane. It's actually kind of sad. My team it's 6-9 right now. I wish my could be helping out my team. But yeah, back to the point. So we ended up losing as a team. We failed. We didn't do as well as we'd hoped to. But instead of saying, okay, let's improve upon, this is what we need to work on, because improvement is something that everyone, despite even the best of the world, people in certain games, certain special sports, they need to do it sometimes. They need to improve on themselves and in the team in general. That was never once looked at. It was, Phantom, you kind of spoke out first, and then this is something I did. I spoke out first. I admitted my mistakes because I'm very vocal.
Yes, you are.
I've been the manager, the team leader the whole time, so I said, guys, I'm sorry, I was nervous. I was not used to the frames, going from, was it like 60 frames from 120 or so that I have normally, and then from the ping, which is normally about 80 or so, I'm sorry, 20 or so at my house to then 80. I said, guys, I'm sorry, I wasn't really up to it with the 5-hour sleep and the only 20 minutes to set up runes and masteries and all that. And they kind of, it's understandable, but they kind of lashed on that because it's like, where do we place our blame?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Now, I'm not innocent here saying I played flawlessly. I'm admitting to my mistakes. I know I played badly, but there's reasons for that, and they're honest reasons. So instead of kind of solving the whole issues, the team kind of didn't improve upon and instead took the route of we need to replace the problem. So that never really got solved. We actually got Dyrus involved in the beach house that we stopped at. He tried his best, but it wouldn't happen. The communication wasn't there. We had a whole big discussion there, and we got to New York, about to sit down, and it was said, hey, Phantom, you're not playing. And I was just like, really? We're doing this now? Why didn't we talk about this before? Now, we did talk about this before, but I want to make very clear that both of the conversations ended with, the first time, 2 people walking out, and then I walked out afterwards. Having a 6v1 pressured conversation is not the most enjoyable thing to go through with people you're supposed to be your friends and you're hanging out with. But the second time at the beach house, the conversation wasn't resolved. And it was upsetting because I tried as a last effort to gain some kind of teamwork with going into the room before our game the next day and saying, hey guys, what are we going to do tomorrow? What kind of strategy are we going to develop? But I guess as they said in Trias Kimmel's post and through their interview on CL League, they never once kind of made it clear. And
I think we're gonna have to go
right before the tournament we got to, they said that, and it was a whole upset. They tried to get the admins to sit me. It was very unprofessional. Should have been done on the side. And then they couldn't do anything because I was the only one who had contacted sponsors. I was, excuse me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like playing on 22 hours of non-sleeping and talking.
Speakers.
Where did I left off? I forget where I left off. I'm so brain dead.
You were the only one contacting sponsors?
Yes. I had 100% dealt with the sponsors. None of them had any kind of contact information or anything to do with them. So sponsors had us bought, quote unquote, and they had the shot. They called the shots as far as who plays.
Mm-hmm.
And they never made an attempt to contact the sponsor, so I ended up playing. I played a phenomenal brand that everyone said. And, hold on, team fight here.
Give him a second. He's going to smash faces and then take some names.
Oh, I could have killed him. Damn it. Just poking damage right now.
Oh.
So, I ended up sitting and I played a really good brand game, and I was really happy about that. But there was a lot of stuff that was said, through all those conversations, through that match before we actually sat down and played, and there was no teamwork at all. Just the team was not there, and it was really pretty sad. But the drama happened,
really
and the team split apart. And there was going to be other 2 ways. Since I was the manager, kind of team founder, I felt that I was going to, just remove everyone and start the team fresh and new, contacting the sponsors, saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. I have some plans for the future. And instead, before I got home on the flight, before I even talked to any of them, they had removed me. So that was also upsetting because on a professional level, you usually sit down and talk about what happens, and that was never done. But
Seems like
I'm over it. The drama happens. It's nothing
the
too
drama
big of a
llama
deal.
followed you home that day.
Yes.
On the plane, at least.
Pretty much.
And so,
Yeah.
so did you start something new there?
Yeah, so, I'm sorry, as I'm still
Team
focused on
fighting,
this
I know.
game, and
Yeah.
we just went through a team fight. Because I want to move through it all, I mean, even talking about here is kind of making me cringe because I don't really want to deal with it anymore. It's done and over with. Everyone's learned their lesson. And I'm actually pretty proud of going through it all. Being able to stand up and deal with all this stuff, with all the pressure and still kind of play. I took all the knowledge from what happened and have decided that I want to continue. This is my full-time job. I want to, keep improving, and I want to form a new team. So, a few weeks afterwards, I'd say about a week ago, I was contacted by Wet Dream, who is a ex-player for SK, really well known in Europe, and he talked to me about sponsorship with Absolute Legends. The partnership gave me, not sponsorship, the partnership gave me a basically ability to have a better quality stream.
Platform.
You don't have the standard low quality stream, yes, that most people get when they want to stream. And
yeah, like us.
then we started talking about other things.
Just kidding.
And he mentioned he mentioned that the team for Absolute Legends was going to go somewhere, and lo and behold, you hear the news, Wicked has left SK, and it was pretty much a plan to have the guys merge and start a team. Well, this is my opinion. I don't know if it's fact, but then he spoke to me about, hey, why don't we start a North American team? So because I was doing really well at the time, and I was talking to him, and he was really friendly, he kind of put me in charge of doing the North American team that I can form from the ground up. So a few hours ago, Lepak expressed his interest to me and has joined me. So the two of us are going to be leading. What we're doing is a tryout session. So the entire community has the ability to play and qualify in the tryouts for the team. I have all the information that will be posted in the thread, and the application is actually open already on Absolute Legends. Those of you guys that want to kind of snipe, get a
head start.
heads up on the application. But yeah, it's going to be open to the community. We're going to have people, and there's no ELO requirements
Awesome.
to submit a LoL replay. There are a few kind of questions in there, and just have to title the thread appropriately. And we'll be looking through every single submission. We're not going to be throwing away people that are like under 1200 ELO, because that wouldn't be fair to. But everyone does have a chance, and what we're kind of advertising is like, why would anyone be interested in joining this team? Well, we are starting off with, of course, Absolute Legends, which has a name out in the public already.
Yep,
and,
that's right.
It's right over here. Right over there.
Yep. The
Sorry,
team is joining in the force with Europeans and what they've been doing. So there's more publicity through that. But it's not all about publicity. It's about catering the players and making sure that the organization is legitimate and done well. So each of the players will get paid travel. They'll get, this is from flights and
Paid travel,
hotel stay from events. They will also
nice.
get jerseys with, of course, sponsorships listed on them like the pros would do. Then there's also paid name change and a gear that would be given to the players that do qualify. And this would be, of course, a keyboard, mouse, headset, and
Not the actual rig,
mousepad.
though.
So all that stuff would be thrown over to the players if they do qualify and make it through the kind of trial stuff that we set up. I'm just realizing this game is going at 27 minutes, and we've only had 3 towers down.
Wow.
This is going to be a farm fest.
Do you guys have any towers? I mean, did they take any of your towers, rather?
We have 2 towers down, and they have 1 of ours.
Okay.
And it's 8-11. We're actually losing. Interesting.
So, to summarize
yeah.
what he said, basically, PhantomL0rd is starting an Absolute Legends team. That's very difficult to say sometimes. For North America, and they're holding open tryouts for anybody. Doesn't matter your ELO, no requirements. Send in a replay to the. He's going to post the thread on the general discussion. And also in Absolute Legend, you can go to absolutelegends.eu, and I'm sure there's an application there. correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
And so that's pretty simple, easy to go to. All of our viewers here, you got an early start. Go do it real quick. We'll wait for you. No, not really. But so then it's just really awesome. So it's a new team, and they've already got an established base. So you're going to be basically skipping a very large step of becoming a pro gamer, which is building your way up. So if you think you got the balls, drop him on his face.
What?
I had to go there.
That's exactly what I was thinking, fam. I'm like, what the hell did he just say?
Come on, man. You're breaking my concentration here.
Well then, if you lose, you can
Thoughts
blame
of
me.
balls get you a little antsy.
I hope this is the best of 3. I'm
Yes.
playing so badly right now.
All thanks
People
to
wondering
me.
why I'm playing is because a friend of mine actually begged
you.
me and sent me, told me about it a lot earlier than,
He sent you a bribe?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Was
not
it
really a
balls?
bribe. But I'm trying to multitask with staying up so late.
No, the bribe is off screen.
Yeah.
Off camera.
And just for everyone that's watching too, if you're not in chat, get in chat. Down at the bottom of the stream there, little chat button. Get in there. We sometimes when we talk about certain things, we post the links in there. Someone just posted the link to Absolute Legends, so you can go there. They got the application. Also, you do need to be in chat for the giveaways that we have every week. So make sure that you hit that button, get in chat, and we have a lot of fun in there. So just hop in.
Yeah, because if you hear Revel and I constantly interrupting any thought process of anybody, it's because we're reading chat.
Yeah, sorry.
Because we don't mute ourselves, so we are 100% uncensored, balls to the wall.
Why are you still talking about balls?
Because I just feel like it.
I'm wondering
many
that
balls.
myself.
Yeah.
It's late for everyone,
man.
apparently. But, yes. So that's
Anybody want to
awesome.
sum up the? Did we actually go over the WCG drama, or was it strictly
We
the IEM
didn't.
Star?
We have not
didn't.
even touched that beast.
I think Jat wants to talk about that.
Well, I have my opinion of what happened.
Wait, I'll fix it. I'll actually do it right this time. There we go.
Yeah.
What's your opinion, chat?
No, here's the thing. The whole thing is just it's stupid drama. It's kind of funny because we've had like little drama, things going on here and there, but this seems to have just like blown up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all day. I mean, the forums have just exploded with all this stuff. They got Reginald posting on his blog that he feels they were gypped, and then you got Jat, who's I've been completely quiet about the whole thing, but then you have and then you have Voy Boy, who I asked to be on the show, but he never answered me back. So Voy Boy went ahead and posted something on the forums saying that that they had lost fair and square, and then someone on another team had contacted him and said, well, wait a second, the rules say it's 2 out of 3 sets, not 2 out of 3 games. And so he asked one of the admins, and then the admin for WCG made the decision that yes, that's the case. So apparently what happened is CDE had to play again, and they lost both games and got kicked out, so they can't go to Korea now. So Reginald's been really pissed off, been really vocal on the forums.
Yeah.
I think I can understand why both teams are frustrated, but it's not really their fault. Like WCG, really needs to get their act together, and I think Marco really didn't handle it too well either. He went on State of the League. Marco, whatever.
Marco.
Polo.
Yeah, I mean, he went on State of the League and basically defended the decision and acted like there was nothing that went wrong at all. So.
He did it like he was
he
agreeing
did.
with WCG, thinking that they were right and they were wrong in the first place, and then he won't back down from his argument with that, and it's just digging his own grave, basically.
Yeah, and I did
Right,
listen to
but
it again.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. To be fair, are you going? And this is just my thought process. Do you want to piss off someone that hosts these type of events like WCG?
Yeah.
Or
The
do
pro
you
players
want
that
to
come to him.
piss off some of the pro players?
Or all of the pro players.
Well,
95% of the pro players.
are mad
yeah,
about this.
I mean,
yeah,
because
I
if
mean,
that
it's
decision,
Everyone
because
is
if
a
that
loser
decision
so
was made
far in
against
this
them,
whole exchange. as far as I've
Right,
seen.
because if any of the pro players, if that happened to them, they'd be just as pissed off as Reginald. So,
Yeah.
It's not the pro players' fault at all. I mean, they're both rightly pissed off for their own reasons, but I don't think Riot handled it well, especially since WCG is pretty much dying anyway. It might not even be around by the end of the year. I mean, if it was something like, some officials with MLG or something like that, something that's a little bit stronger right now, I could see him backing him a little bit more faithfully, but WCG, come on.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on. I mean, and Jester might have more thoughts on it, but that's
I'm
how I
sure
feel.
he does.
WCG's dead anyways.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
and
think after all this, it's going to be really bad for them to try and make any money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have the whole controversy, and you can see by my shirt here. You have Jat right here that he was playing for one team, the team lost or disqualified, and then he ends up just going to another team and ends up playing for he played for Dignitas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they end up winning, and now they're going to Korea. Like, the rules specifically state that he can't do that, but then there is this weird interpretation. It's like WCG just needs to get their act together, lay down the rules, and stick to them. Like, don't put rules out there and then interpret them a different way depending on who asks you a question or who comes to you.
They even said that the official rules were on the WCG website, but they were the incorrect official rules. They're the official rules on the website. You can't change them after they're there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they say. It's the rules right now.
I've even heard, Demon, that they went out there and they went back to that website. They went to the WCG, or the WCG actually went out there and updated the rules on there and acted like they never changed them at all.
Yeah.
So it's like the rules were there, and then they changed them, and then said, "Oh, we didn't do anything."
Google knows all.
Yes, it does. Yay for cached.
Yeah.
Yeah, cash version.
Yeah. You have been caught.
How does that work?
Technology's awesome.
Yeah. So Jester, I figure
Yes.
you have a lot of opinions on this and the whole goings on, and along with other things WCG that have been going on as well, like the wonderful Australia.
That was WCG too, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were talking to Shinks on Mobile Weekly about the whole thing, how WCG Australia really screwed that up as well. I'd actually say they probably screwed up worse than here, because as you might have, if you did read anything from Boy or Reginald, you'll kind of see the reason why. All of WCG Australia was just decided in one game. Whoever just won the game went to Korea. That was it. We didn't even get best of threes, let alone best of three sets.
Yeah.
So WCG is just all across the board screwing everything royally up. Yeah. A lot of very angry gamers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be fixed really soon. I think Riot needs to put their foot down and set a standard for all the tournament-style play.
But why would Riot need to get involved in this kind of thing? I mean,
It's a WCG
Blizzard,
problem.
Blizzard is actively involved in every SE tournament, for example. Like, Manic stuff, that's all third party, right?
Yeah.
Well, the game is different, though. You have an example for, like, the WCG it's with Reginald and all that. The admin who made the decision to go ahead with it, which Reginald does describe in detail, was a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
He has no affiliation at all with anything LoL related. He's just a contractor. He works for a contracting company.
Yeah, I mean, he just runs a
So
basic
why would
tournament.
why would you put that kind of power in someone who is not going to really cater to the community and the game? And that's troubling to have let happen.
And apparently he had
I don't
no
know.
experience with WCG or with tournaments as well. It's WCG's fault for A, hiring the guy, B, not knowing his background in. I mean, I could see if they hired a guy who's really good at running tournaments, he might just not be specifically League of Legends. Because if you know how to run a tournament well and you know how to keep rules and the winner here goes on to here, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's all games. It's just who wins what. It's not like he killed me as Kog'Maw, so thus you have to disqualify him or something like that. It's all games that have to be played in a bracket format or pool play. So it's just a matter of learning that and then going on with life. So it's really WCG's fault, and they're paying the price quite dearly.
Yeah, and so is Riot because of how they stepped in with it.
Yeah, and Riot probably shouldn't have even touched it. They should have said, "This is WCG, bro."
And I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know if anyone's read Voyboy's response in that, but I mean, he even
I have. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and Voyboy was actually pretty level-headed about the whole thing. I mean, he said, look, if they go back and look at the rules and something was done incorrectly, then by all means send CDE. I mean, he wasn't like, oh no, we won, we're going, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was very cordial about the whole thing, I thought. So, I like I said, I can understand Reginald being upset.
Yeah,
I can really
absolutely.
understand that, but he's on the losing end. You know, Voyboy actually has, in my opinion, a little bit more incentive, I guess you could say, to be super nice about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And say that, you know, perhaps mistakes were made and everything like that. So, I mean, yeah, he did say CDE should go. I don't know what'll happen. I don't think that they'll reverse anything or send CDE, but
I don't think they will.
But you know what? Good for Voyboy to come out and say, look, you know, if we shouldn't go, if we don't go, or if they do that, make that decision, we understand. So good for Voyboy for doing that.
Apparently, a lot of people want to know what happened in Australia. Weren't quite clarification enough, Chester. For
well, basically, Pleckle there in the chat actually linked the entire summative comments, thread that has a massive amount of hate on it. But essentially, you know, everyone got invited to WCG Australia, and they all went out there, and really there was no clear lines of communication in terms of accommodation, in terms of brackets, when they're supposed to show up, where they're staying, who they're playing, and it was kind of terrible. So some people got their flight information like the night before, which kind of is terrible.
Yeah,
and then they got all the way out there and said, well, where are we staying? Like, I don't know. They didn't say. So they go to the venue with all their luggage, and then they sit down at the 10 computers for like 2 or 3 games. Got to play out an entire weekend of games, and they have 10 computers, so
10.
they can only really do, one match at a time.
Yeah.
5-on-5, right?
Yeah.
So everything is best of
5v5.
1. This is like national finals, best of 1. And then even after that, it's just like, well, okay, well, win or lose, where do we go to sleep? I don't know. So they get their information a little later. They go off to the hotel. There's as many as 6 or 7 people to a room. Yeah.
That's terrible.
I heard that the Frenetic Array actually pulled out of the hotel, got their sponsors to put them up because they wanted some sleep, you know?
Yeah. And so the people that ended up winning it was the locals because they got to go home.
I heard it was the locals because they had, beds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
$10,000 trip to Korea, right?
Yeah. So
they're doing like what PhantomL0rd doing right now, like 22 hours, no sleep. You're in a tournament, you look kind of dazed.
Yeah.
I remember all that. I was actually... This is interesting. I actually tried to do what Jet did. But I backed out because, one, I thought it was just kind of stupid. My Team V8 qualified for New York, and the Team Frey, I was on the roster and played with them as a backup because I have some Aussie buddies. I tried to play with them as well, but the whole New York thing got cut anyway, so it didn't really matter. But the admins for the North American League, I was actually talking to them. I was talking to Scarm, and who else is an admin? Hawkeye, I believe I was talking to. I don't know for sure though, maybe it was not. But about playing for 2 different teams in 2 different leagues, and it didn't work out. The admins actually said no. So that was interesting how IEM kind of had
Yeah, they had their stuff together.
whole understanding, but not WCG.
and that's why you see IEM's doing phenomenal.
Yeah, it's pretty clear WCG is not exactly in the right headspace at this point.
Which is very sad, because, I mean, WCG was the place for tournaments and stuff for a long time.
Keyword was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was. But,
Just like, the CPO, the CAL, and,
Yeah.
game battles after it got frag, after it got sold. It just, stuff goes downhill when it's mismanaged.
yeah. Because I
Especially
think they
something like that.
might be trying to expand too fast, and they're just don't know how to do it right. And so that's where you break out to your various successful ones.
Well, it
Like
also might
everything
be just people scrambling to get a part. Yeah, ever since the $5 million announcement from Riot, right? It's just like people just see dollar signs in their eyes, and it's like, okay, well, we got to do something here. We want a piece of that pie.
Yeah.
You know, this is a hot game, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's just going to backfire on you.
Yep. And, you know,
Pretty
just
badly.
dumping money.
Yeah.
So.
Putting it mildly.
C'est la vie. Yeah.
So how goes your game there, PhantomL0rd? You guys winning still? Yet? Maybe?
I was actually about to say, because I'm sitting here all focused and looking at the camera, we actually lost. That's why I don't like being top lane. It's because you don't really have that much contribution to the team. You're sort of just a farmer. And while I beat my lane, I really don't know what happened to the rest of my team because I wasn't watching. So I was trying to help
They
out.
can all come on here and rage at you.
Just so you all know, we have 82 people watching right now, and there's only 36 people in chat. So if you're not in chat and you want to win RP, click on the little chat button, please, and join the chat channel so you have a chance to win this stuff.
Or
okay?
join us on IRC, QuakeNet, Perfect Rain.
And yes, Dawn,
Yep,
your
that
apple
works
candy
too.
pie.
You don't think just hit the chat button on the stream,
Well,
right?
I mean, you know,
Yeah,
some
it's
people
just-
prefer to do that. I like to do that, thank you. Go to chat according to Jet. That's very awesome.
See, our chat right now is saying don't click on chat, but nobody's going to read that because they're not in chat, so it's a waste of time.
Good job, guys.
They want their better chances at some of those skins.
I mean,
So-
come on, guys. New skins were released today. New champions. I got 2 $10 RP cards right here. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the
PhantomL0rd,
chat.
I guess we'll do some shout-outs before we give away the RP cards. And don't worry, Jester, I will let you have your turn. PhantomL0rd, would you like to go first?
Sure. I'd like to give a big shout out to my entire community and everyone that's been idling in my channel, PhantomL0rd with a 0 in the low client. Also the people in IRC, that goes out to the ruler who's been doing a really great job. I don't know if he's going to be watching this, but maybe who's been helping out with managing things and finding people's info. Big shout out to Chest Pants, who's helped me, who's kind of my individual sponsor for the name change and helping me get my energy drinks so I can keep going and get this stuff done.
What are you drinking?
And I've actually had, I don't have a Red Bull with me right here, but I have a Wired. I
Ah,
don't know if that shows up.
it does.
Yeah.
But I've gone through several different brands, and this one is really subtle, but it seems to do the best effect long term.
So
Awesome.
you're going to explode from a caffeine later?
Probably.
Pretty
You're
much.
just going to go into
Two
a
energy
caffeine
drinks.
coma for a day.
It's your Venus at this point.
Oh my god, yeah. 24 hours up. I've been up right now, and my eyes are just.
Yeah.
Oh, so I apologize for any kind of pathetic acts I've done over the stream so far. But
you've been
yeah,
great.
thanks out to everyone who's been supporting me through the whole incident with V8. It's in the past now. I'm not really going to talk about it that much anymore until after this kind of interview because it's irrelevant in the past. It's time to move on.
And you
Yep.
can always
But,
just tell them to watch the interview.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. You can do that too. But I'm going to be streaming now 24/7 on the Absolute Legends website. I am featured there, and look forward to hearing from all of you who want to apply to the team and get a shot at getting pro with all of those goodies and stuff that's involved. Believe me, everyone does have a shot at getting it. You just have to prove through a really good game and through the different stages that we'll go through afterwards. But yeah.
Do you
Thanks, too.
need any people to like help you do these kind of things? Like, are you looking to build up any kind of staff for your team, like volunteers to go through replays, do anything like that? Would
He
you like them
wants
to
to
apply
do it.
somewhere?
Yes. I actually am going to be hiring a North American Absolute Legends staff, from anyone to news writers to admins on IRC, to the simplest things as far as writing, bumping threads on forums. So yes, I will be doing all that shortly, and that news will be released in not too long.
Okay,
Need a caster?
We'll find it on Absolute Legends, I assume.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
We'll find it on absolutelegends.com or .eu.
Or you
if
can
wanna-
come back on the show and let everyone know.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
Whenever, if it's Tuesday night and you want to announce something, feel free to just message us, and we'll be glad to have you on.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
Even if you just want to jump on for 5 minutes and say something, then leave. We'll do your announcement.
Of course.
We
And
are-
yeah, before Last shout-outs, thanks guys for having me on here and allowing me to play in that little tournament game with 22 hours, 24 hours of no sleep and doing an interview at the same time. I've never done anything like that in my life.
Hey, here's the motto that I run by is that none of us we don't get paid for the show. We all do it because we like the games and the various things we talk about. It's not our job. So if we do it because we want to. So if you're doing something for my show and you don't love to do it, then tell me something else because you need to be doing something else that you do like. There's no reason to be doing this and hate it. So if you want to play games while you're doing the show, I wish you wouldn't, but go ahead. Vaniel. So, all right. Jester, your turn.
You're up, sir.
Me?
Yeah.
Me? I don't know. It's kind of just another quiet week for me. So.
Really? 2 quiet weeks in a row. What are you going to do with all this fresh air and space?
I know.
Oh, I've been working on stuff, but I can't tell you about any of it yet.
Yeah, as
Okay.
usual.
Did you dress up for Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, Forecourt Tibbers existed for a night.
Do you have a picture?
They're on cameras right now. I think a few of them are up on Facebook. I'll see if I can find some links for the next show.
Okay.
Awesome.
And
Forecourt
yeah,
Tibbers.
homemade costume and everything. It was alright. The party was pretty good. I wasn't on fire or anything though. Couldn't quite get the timing down. You know?
Just couldn't get the
But
time.
yeah, no, I'll just probably be doing some streaming this week. I got Mobile Weekly Thursday and some Han shoutcasting on Sunday. So other than that, you know, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Forecourt Jester, and of course, yeah, I'll be hanging out with these guys again next Tuesday.
Yep. Because we were
And just remember, he's got it. If you Google his name, it comes right up.
Yeah. He
Yes, it
is.
I'm the only Forecourt Jester in the world.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is autocorrect on Google. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, fun times. No, PhantomL0rd, I'll be sending you my bot game. I went 24-1. I hope it impresses you.
Should there be, like, do you want any small requirements, like it can't be a bot game kind of thing?
I actually should throw that in there. No, every little application we looked at, and if that's in there, automatically upon the first couple seconds of loading it up, will just be thrown away because it's pointless.
Okay. So,
But,
don't send him a bot
yeah.
game.
Don't send me a bot game.
Sorry, Jester.
You dashed my hopes. I was so ready to transition from caster to pro, yeah.
So I have most all of our Twitters below us here, like mine and Rebels. Although
What about my
Vaniel's...
shout-outs?
Wait, Vaniel's is Vaniel Mage. You're going to get your shout-outs because you're going to get to give away RP. You can talk then, douche. Wait a minute.
Quiet, Jat. Quiet.
You shut up now. You shut up now, Jet, who is currently Vaniel. It's Vaniel Mage, M-A-G-E, at the end of it, at Twitter. So,
Yep.
Vaniel, would you like to give us some RP? And while Vaniel's giving away the RP, please ask PhantomL0rd some questions. I guess we're going to kind of maybe delay our Battlefield 3. And the other quick news, while Vaniel's doing whatever crap. What?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Was
Go ahead.
Dota
Dota
2.
2.
They're going to be giving away some beta keys to people that are already in Dota 2, and so like it's a good time to go to. I'll even post
Steam.
a link real quick. Steam, and they have a big thing there about where to go and what to do to try and get a key, and lots of people.
That's the survey thing?
Yes, the survey thing.
Yeah.
God damn it, that didn't work because it posted
Yeah,
it like that.
we'll
I'll
do it.
repost it. But anyway, I'll post it in the chat with where you can go, etc., etc. So that's been pretty big news. Other than that, I've been playing the hell out of Battlefield 3 and loving the hell out of it. So find me on Battlefield,
Traitor.
View Machine. Although I really wish they would fix the joystick.
Yeah, there you go. Vaniel Mage I'm on Battlefield 3 as well.
Yeah.
So I showed this to everyone off the stream, but I just wanted to show this.
The
Best Buy
52
obviously
deck
got
card
more
he's got.
cards. So
Add more cards.
we're set here for a while. So, but here's the 2 we're giving away tonight.
Oh my god, this guy's teasing everyone.
So I want to give it.
Yeah, Phantom. I'm not sure if you know, but Vaniel here has all the skins in the store plus
Yep.
some.
He has. Also, get in the chat if you want the RP. That's how he's pulling the names.
Yeah, I have
go ahead.
over 360 skins now, so it's all good. Yes, and Insanity, I am going to make a poster of all the RP cards that I've bought eventually, so that is coming. It'll be hanging right up here behind me on the wall. So
You should turn them different
my
ways to try and
shout-outs,
make a mosaic.
I want to give a shout out to Canada.
Other side, there you go.
Yeah.
Canada. Whoa, hold on. Not Canada. I want to give a shout out to the U.S. is what I really want to give a shout out to.
No takesy backsies.
Sorry. I liked Canada until they disqualified me, so I gotta go with the U.S. now. So, anyways, one final chance. If you're not in chat, get in chat now. I'm giving away these RP cards, so get in there. You have like 10 seconds.
All right, while you do that, ask PhantomL0rd some questions, and I will tell them to him. We actually have a couple from previous. Fnatic HXD actually wanted to know, what is your opinion on teams changing lineups after tournaments due to bad performance? Do you see yourself doing it if needed?
Lineups as far as the players who play, or lineups as far as the champions?
I would
Probably
say players
players.
who play.
Players? Okay.
I.e. firing the bad ones.
Yeah.
In a lot of games, and this is not just with League of Legends, but in a lot of games, and I did see it at the professional level a lot more than with my knowledge of the past, but a lot of games, players that don't get to play, like World of Warcraft is a great example, have a 300 guild, a member guild, and you have that like couple people in there that want to play so badly, and they don't get to play. I get a chance to play in or raid with the guild. It causes problems, and there's never a solution to it. Also, normally what happens is people break off and form their own guilds. That's why there's thousands upon thousands of guilds. So I think what we're going to start to see is if the team is a new team and the people are not friends from the past, what they're going to do is only have 5 members. They're not going to have any more than that for League of Legends because, as you've seen with my team, it causes problems where you have someone who brings on a friend and favors that friend over someone else who isn't their direct friend. It just causes problems. So you'll start to see in the future a lot of teams just have 5 members, nothing more.
All right.
So what would they do? It'd just be you have to be able to make the tournaments kind of thing? Or what would you do if you couldn't get one of them for some asinine reason, like they hurt themselves?
School.
School. Yeah.
There are a lot of backup methods, but I think what people are starting to see is sort of like what I'm doing is I'm in my senior year of college and I've actually stopped that, and I took a 30-hour job and cut it to just 4 hours to focus full-time on League of Legends because of where I see it going and all the investments I'm putting into it. So you have a lot of pro players who are putting this as a full-time job.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the case because other players are going to be doing this, and their whole responsibility is going to be to showing up the matches and being prepared, and so on and so forth. So I don't really think that's going to happen too much. I mean, with the lower teams it might, but there's tons of people that play this game, so there's always someone that's a backup.
Yeah.
Like the game I just played, I was a backup right there.
Yeah. Okay. So, is ringers a typical method, like getting one of the other guys from a different team that's at the current tournament?
At the tournament, no. If you play one match,
You can't join a different team.
or submit, the roster set. You can't change
Okay.
it, and that's why with my whole team set up, when they came back to Game 2 and Game 3, they really wanted me to leave, but they couldn't because rules stated that the roster had to be
Fixed.
consistent throughout the matches.
Cool.
All right. So you ready, Vaniel?
So RP.
All right. We're gonna
Yes.
give away our first card, and then we're gonna
Dun dun dun.
do something, and then we're gonna give away our second.
It's going to Deontay. Deontay. You win the first RP
Dante.
card.
How do you spell that?
Congratulations.
DEON.
Deonteddeonte.
Repeated.
Yes.
Repeat it, yeah.
I think that's actually one of my fans. Yes, go Phantom's fans!
Yes, for Deontay.
Collect all the RPs!
But come and check us
Now,
next
after
week
this,
too.
Phantom's address, yeah.
All right, let me roll.
Yes,
Let me roll
he is.
again.
He is one of my fans. Victory!
They're invading.
All the more fun.
All right, let's see who wins the second one here.
All right.
All right.
Wait a second. Do we
Drum
have any more
roll.
questions for PhantomL0rd
Yes.
while we have him?
Do we have any more
Yes,
questions?
by all means, ask me guys anything. I'll be answering any and all questions.
What's your favorite FPS?
Even of old one, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be new.
I love Tribes 2, but Quake 3 is by far my most hands down best game because of the speed.
Yeah.
But I also love Team Fortress Classic because most people don't know about that game, and that was my game where it was the first time I was a professional.
What was your class
with
that you liked the most?
Scout and Medic. I was an aggressive flag capture.
Ah, good, good.
I was the level designer for the community too. I created conch maps and all that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
All right.
So, can we pull more questions if there are any? It's going very quickly.
Yeah. Why do you consider...
Why revive?
Yeah. Why revive better than exhaust on Karthus?
I actually see that question. The revive, I don't know if it's exactly directed towards exhaust would be the best way to kind of explain it, but why I choose revive on Karthus is because when I originally started learning Karthus, I was doing flash and ignite, and actually did flash to exhaust. Exhaust is a slow effect. It's not really used majority of the time for getting the champion to have reduced damage. It's normally done for the AD in a 2v2 bottom lane, AD support battle. But for mid laners, top laners, that's not normally what happens. So I already have a wall that does a slow. Why would I need another slow? So I usually go to Ignite, and then after I did Ignite, I actually switched to Teleport because I like to support my team. Karthus ults, he also teleports. So say for example there's a team fight, I ult before the guys even have health, and you know, if my teammate does have the victory there, awesome. If he doesn't, he's actually losing the fight. What do? Teleport behind. So I kind of developed that teleport, and then I saw someone use Revive Teleport once and decided to try it out. Now, no flash mid lane versus a Tassadin, let's say Big Fat GG, which I've versed several times, is extremely hard to deal with. But you play very passively. I have a video on my own 3D. If you search through PhantomL0rd, I'll be fine-tuning and releasing it to the community soon, where I've actually started a game where I was down 50 CS, 40 CS, 50 CS, and waited patiently until my jungler had an opportunity to come in the lane and ganked, and then eventually climbed back up. So the kind of trick I've learned is to not die, just lose CS, and it just contributed so much in team fights where I could deal loads of damage with no defensive abilities, no defensive summoners, no defensive items, and just demolish everyone, come back, and then clean up. And it honestly is just a build that I've had a lot of fun with, and I've perfected to the point where I've encountered every single scenario in the game almost to where I know the outcome before it even happens. And that's just through experience and a lot of time.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. All right.
So, who was the winner?
All right, Jat.
Hold on.
I thought you'd already done this. Why we gave you all that time?
Haha, no, I was just messing with you. It's Kenshin.
It's who?
Kenshin.
Rurouni Kenshin?
Kenshin.
The Wandering
The
Samurai.
Wandering Samurai.
Kenshin.
Obviously, he came in and stole it out of your pocket. And you didn't
Another
even notice.
Phantom fan, please?
He must have, yes. So, yeah, I'm putting your code in a separate chat, just so you know. There you go.
Yeah, anybody who gets the code, check your... If you're in the web chat, it'll be at the top, and you'll see a little thing that says Vaniel, and it'll have your...
And now I can add to my poster.
Can you turn your camera to show us the poster that you have thus far?
No,
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think.
it's... No, I can't. It's like it's just a stack of RP cards that I have.
How thick is this stack?
Oh, it's like that or something?
About an inch.
Okay.
My God.
I bought my first 2 RP cards the other day, and they weren't even for me. They were for my kids.
Nice.
Both
I bought my
boys.
first skin for my wife.
So,
Yeah.
hey, just so you guys know, after the show, if you stay in chat, I will be giving away 2 of these. It's I don't know who plays WoW and who doesn't, but
They're fish.
it's from the new
That
set.
Magikarp?
No. It's from the WoW.
WoW.
The WoW card game.
Pet cards.
So if you play World of Warcraft, stay in chat. These cards, you'll need to write down the code because the code isn't going to be good until the new 4.3 patch is released here in a week or 2. So write down the code, but it'll get you a nice little in-game pet for your Pokemon collection in fight Team Rocket when the new expansion comes out.
Very nice.
We have a question from Nikshin who says, do you have any tips for newcomers to MOBA games?
Not having any previous experience in games in general is, it's sort of, well, you got to figure out what you want to do first. If you're playing the game and try to go pro, it's going to be difficult. Depends on your age, depends on how much time you have. Now is the time when this game, StarCraft, is going to actually pass StarCraft 2 in the North American League as far as popularity. So this is a great game to start working on and improving on. If you have no previous experience with games, it's going to be tough. Don't shoot for pro, shoot to have fun. If you lose, just lose. Have fun, don't worry about it. When you start to care like crazy, that's when you start to rage, and I did a lot of that when I was actually caring. And now high elo, I lose a game, I don't really care. It's like I waited 4 or 5 minutes for it, yay, and I lost. But as I said several times, the #1 requirement for being a pro, for doing a really well in a game, and this is not just with League of Legends, with any game, to get up to the high scene, is to have a lot of time. If you don't have a lot of time, don't kid yourself, don't stress yourself out, just play to have fun. So there's like 2 choices you can make. Pro, go all out. If you're not going to go pro, don't bother. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Very nice. Great advice. Great
the
advice.
last question, then we're wrapping it up, is did you ever play the original Dota?
I did. Yes, I did. But I did not play it that much. I played it to the point where I can't even name a single champion in the game right this moment. I think, yeah, I can't. I can't name.
All right, come on. Everybody knows Pudge.
Do what?
Pudge. Yes. Wait.
What?
What's the little rock dude that like throws people?
I don't remember, but Pudge. He's like the Abomination, the Butcher.
Oh, yeah. Pudge.
Oh, okay, yes.
Right.
But,
The rock guy? That's Pebbles, or Tiny.
Pebbles. Yes, Tiny, yes,
Tiny.
there we go.
Yeah.
Tiny. So, I didn't play it that much. As I said, I was an FPS player going into League of Legends and did not like this game at the start, but I've been playing games since I was really little, so I had the kind of hand-eye coordination already in place and just learned to love the game because of the community.
Awesome. We're
A
gonna.
lot of people play it in spite of the community.
Yeah.
So, thanks very much for joining us. Please tune in next week, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern, for our next show. Please tell your friends, and let's continue to blow up our show. Veska did our background. He's super awesome. You can love this awesome background. I'd also like to shout out my wife, who's having to deal with our 11-week-old baby by herself because I'm out here doing the show. Matt, do you have any shout-outs? No? Your wife doing well?
Yes.
Okay,
she
good.
is
She's
healing
doing better?
nicely from her surgery.
Good. Any last... Nobody else... I didn't cut anybody's shout-out short, did I? Jester didn't respond, so I'm saying no.
No, it's
All right.
Crickets. All right.
So,
see you guys next week.
thanks. I hope you guys had fun. Click.